Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Phil, and that's Sam.
Hey guys, welcome back.
We're Bars and Barbells, and we're coming to something a little bit different today. Top 10 places to visit in the UK. And I've never been to the UK. Sam, you have.
I have, yes, but I have only been to the London region. So.
And that said, my heritage is from the UK, and my mom she was born in Guernsey and was raised there and for a little portion of her life, and so I have other family that were there, and anyway, so I got to get over to the UK and check it out at some point. So this is a fitting video for us to look into, and I think, Sam, you would like to go back to the UK.
I would love to go back, so see more of it.
So maybe this will convince us that we got to go back and check something out, because I don't know what to expect on this one. We just know that you guys were mentioning that we should check this out, so that's why we're here.
I'm excited to see this.
And if you got any other suggestions that aren't on this list in terms of places in the UK that are worthwhile checking out, let us know. Maybe we'll make a trip over there. We'll vlog it or something and show you guys. You ready, Sam?
I am. Let's do it.
Let's go.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan Shirley, and I spent the last few years exploring the United Kingdom, and I want to show you my favorite places. So here's my UK top 10.
That looks cool.
The United Kingdom is made up of the countries of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. If you want to go back in time and feel like you're in a fairy tale or a Harry Potter film, the UK is the place for you. It's easy to see why so many myths and legends were born here. It's one of the world's most enchanting places. Alright, so for our first location, we're going to go visit possibly the most iconic city in the world, London. I've traveled more to London than any other international destination. I have to say it's my favorite city in the world, and I just keep
there's
coming
probably
back.
more I could have seen there that I didn't.
Everything from the double-decker buses to the energy of Piccadilly Circus makes the city feel so alive. There's just so many places to see. You can check out the iconic Big Ben and walk across the ridge to see the Palace of Westminster. There's the Tower Bridge, which is possibly the most famous bridge in all of London. You can go see the Stoic Guards at Buckingham Palace or take a ride on the London Eye. If you haven't already been to London, I'd highly recommend visiting when you can. It's hard to beat the London atmosphere. There's no city like it in the world. Alright, so after exploring London, we're going to make the 2-hour drive over to Stonehenge. Located in Wiltshire, England, lies one of the most famous man-made rock structures in the world. There's a lot of mystery surrounding Stonehenge, like what was its purpose and how was it made. Archaeologists believe it was constructed back between 3000 to 2000 BC. Stonehenge consists of a ring of rocks, each being around 13 feet high and weighing nearly 25 tons each. It's unclear what the exact purpose of Stonehenge was. It's believed that it was used as an astronomical observatory or a religious site. Either way, it sure makes you stop and think how people thousands of years ago were able to construct this. Alright, so after Stonehenge, we're going to head on over to the Jurassic Coast. While you won't find any dinosaurs here, you might find some fossils on the beach. The Jurassic Coast is England's only natural World Heritage Site, and it's become popular with its white cliffs and picturesque beaches that are full of fossils formed over 65 million years ago. One of the most famous spots on the Jurassic Coast is Door. It's this limestone arch that goes straight into the ocean. There's a great beach there, and I just can't think of a better place to spend during the hot English summers. One of my favorite spots on the Jurassic Coast is Old Harry's Rocks. Now, special thanks to my friend David Rule for providing this footage. He has an awesome Instagram and YouTube that I'll provide in the description below. I remember the first time I saw his picture of this place, and I was just baffled by the scenery there.
Wow,
the Old Harry Rocks are these sea stacks that are made completely out of chalk that mark the end of the Jurassic Coast. In World War II, the stacks were used as target practice for pilots, so that's kind of crazy. I just love the combination of the green meadows with the white cliffs and the blue ocean. I mean, it's just hard to beat that scenery. Alright, so after the Jurassic Coast, we're going to head up north to visit the country of Wales. Now, Wales is located in the southwest part of Great Britain. It's famous for its mountainous national parks, picturesque coastline, and distinct Welsh language. One of the most scenic places in Wales is the Snowdonia National Park. It's a region in northwest Wales that is known for its mountains and lakes. The highest peak in Wales, Mount Snowdon, is located in the park with an elevation of 10,085 meters. You can hike on up there, or you can take the Snowdon Mountain Railway to the top. If you're lucky, you might be able to see Ireland across the sea. Alright, so after Wales, we're going to head to the Isle of Man. Now, located...
Interesting. So the Isle of Man, we've done TTT top speed.
Yep.
videos on that. That was mind blowing. So now we know where it is specifically on the map. And we also didn't mention Sam's heritage, which is Welsh, and we just got a glimpse of Wales there.
Yeah, I would love to go there. I don't really know too much about it, and I should probably learn more about it, but it looks beautiful.
It does, yeah. And so I guess now we get to see Isle of Man. It's right in between the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. I don't really know how big it is. It's hard to tell on the map because I can't remember how big United Kingdom and Northern Ireland are. So it looks pretty small. I'm sure somebody must have mentioned how big it is on the comments that we did in the racing video as well, because I think you can get through the whole island pretty quickly. But let us know down below. Give us a comment on what the width or the length of the island is.
Across the sea. All right, so after Wales, we're going to head to the Isle of Man. Now, located in the Irish Sea, right between England and Ireland, lies a rugged island known for its rural landscapes and medieval castles. While it's technically not part of the United Kingdom, it has status of crown dependency, and the UK is responsible for its defense and external relations. The Isle of Man has had an interesting history. Humans have lived on it since 6500 BC, and in the 19th century it was ruled by Norway, but in 1266 the island became part of Scotland, and now it is a self-governing isle. An interesting place on the Isle of Man is Peel Castle. It was constructed by Vikings in the 11th century and just sits right on the ocean. I mean, it's a pretty cool castle. That's cool. You ask me. Alright, so after the Isle of Man, we're going to head across the sea to visit Northern Ireland. Now, Ireland is full of just beautiful scenery, dramatic coastal cliffs, and countless castles. Back in 1921, Ireland was split into Northern and Southern Ireland as a result of the Government of Ireland Act of 1920. While Southern Ireland became a free Irish state, Northern Ireland remained within the United Kingdom. The capital of Northern Ireland is the city of Belfast, which is the birthplace of the Titanic ship. One of the most iconic places in Northern Ireland is the Dark Hedges. It's this road lined with beech trees planted in the 18th century. It was used as a filming location for the Game of Thrones. On the northern coast, you can check out the Carrick Already Rope Bridge or see the basalt columns at the Giant's Causeway. I mean, there's just so much history and beauty in Ireland, and it just makes me want to go there and explore. Alright, so for our next location, we're going to head to Scotland to visit the Isle of Skye. This is probably my all-time favorite place in the UK. You literally feel like you're in a fairy tale when you visit there.
Wow.
I was lucky enough to go to the Isle of Skye last summer, and it's about a 5-hour drive from Edinburgh. One of the most impressive places in the Isle of Skye is the Old Manastor. It's one of my all-time favorite rock formations. I felt like I was on the set of Game of Thrones when I was there. Now, to get to the Old Manastor, it's about a 4-kilometer hike. You'll walk through some conservation gates and you'll reach the famous rock pinnacles. I went for sunrise and sunset, and both occasions were breathtaking. When I was there was just like crows flying around the rock, and there were some sheep running around. I mean, it was just a magical place. So the legend of the Old Manastor is supposedly a giant lived there a long time ago, and when he was buried, his thumb was left sticking out of the ground. When you go there, it's easy to see why it's one of the world's most iconic rock formations.
Looks crazy.
It's one of my all-time favorite places, and I recommend everyone to see it at least once in their life. Just a few minutes away from the Old Manastor, there is a breathtaking waterfall called Meout Falls that cascades down to the ocean. There's a nice viewpoint where you can look at the waterfall. The surrounding sea cliffs in the area are also stunning. One of the most famous is Kilt Rock, which are right by Meout Falls. I mean, it's just such a cool area. There aren't many waterfalls that fall straight into the ocean. If you're looking to find some fairies, you may want to check out the fairy pools. There are these picturesque blue pools that lie at the base of the black colons. When I was there were so many midges. I didn't dare get close to water, so make sure you bring some bug spray. If you want to do a beautiful hike, I'd also recommend visiting the Corang. It's one of the most beautiful areas in the Isle of Skye. You feel like you're walking on a giant golf course. I found this crazy vantage point to get a good 360 view of the whole area. Alright, so after the Isle of Skye, we're going to head over to the nearby...
That's crazy. The Isle of Skye looks insane.
So beautiful.
Like you said, it looks like it's from a fairy tale.
Yeah.
You know, Game of Thrones vibes.
Fairy pools look pretty cool.
Pardon?
The fairy pools look pretty cool.
Everything about it. I mean, just looking at that, I mean, you know, that
It's
view,
gorgeous.
where else can you find that in the world,
Yeah,
right?
it's
That's
beautiful.
insane. It looks so lush, so green. Go there to just, you know, get away from all the busyness of the world, de-stress, relax, and even the shots of him there's nobody else around.
Yeah.
You know, it's
It's also kind of cool because like everything that he's talked about so far in this video, besides London, has been more scenery based, right? Like there hasn't really been like an actual city other than London.
Yeah, and what else is the other thing that's really cool is the names that we got here. I
Yeah.
love these names. They're all fire.
Sounds like something you'd hear in like in a fantasy book or something.
Good 360 view of the whole area. All right, so after the Isle of Skye, we're going to head over to the nearby Stonehenge Castle. If you're driving to the Isle of Skye, you will drive right by this. It's one of my favorite castles in the UK.
Wow.
Situated on a small tidal island at the point where the three great sea locks meet. The castle was built in the 13th century. I'm so mad at myself. I didn't visit the castle when I was there. I wasn't able to check it out. That's one of my biggest regrets of when I visited the UK, so don't make the same mistake I made. Alright, so after castle, we're going to head over to one of Scotland's most iconic locations, the Glenfinnan Viaduct. It's located at the top of Loch Shiel in the West Highlands of Scotland. It was completed around 1898. This may look familiar because it was featured in the Harry Potter films. When I was there, I wanted to get close to the bridge, so I walked underneath it. I was just shook by how big it actually was. After I hiked to the top to get a good vantage point so I could see the famous train go across the viaduct. Just really reminds you of those Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, it really does.
After Glenfinnan, we're going to head over to Edinburgh. Now, if you want to go back in time, Edinburgh is a must. It's where J.K. Rowling wrote her Harry Potter novels. When I started traveling, this was one of the first cities I visited. It's a medieval old town with intricate neoclassical buildings, cobblestone streets, and beautiful gardens. The iconic Edinburgh Castle overlooks the city and is home to Scotland's crown jewels. When I was there, I didn't go into the castle because I was being too cheap, but one of my favorite places was Calton Hill. It offers a beautiful view of the whole entire city. While we're still in Edinburgh, we're going to head over to Arthur's Seat. Now, Arthur's Seat is located in Holyrood Park, and it's a short walk from Edinburgh Centre. Arthur's Seat is an extinct volcano with an elevation of 823 feet. When I was there, I wanted to get as high as I could so I could see all of Edinburgh. I made a hike up and I reached the top. It was just so windy when I was there, nearly blew me over. After I hiked to the top, I had a good time just hiking around Holyrood Park and enjoying the views of one of UK's most iconic cities. Alright, well that is it for my United Kingdom top 10. The UK is just such a unique region in the world, and I hope all can witness its beauty and history. What was your favorite place in the video? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to support the channel, considering becoming a patron, and where you get perks such as free travel guides and stock footage, you can find me on Instagram at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.
That was the top 10 places to visit in the UK, and Edinburgh looks pretty damn cool, I will say.
I was going to say, if you have to narrow it down, if you could only pick one to go to, which one would you want to go to?
Well, Sam.
I always do this. Ask him his favorite for everything, and he's like, I don't have a favorite.
Everything. I have to pick a favorite for everything. That's what I was about to get to. It's like, I just saw the 10 places, and you want me to pick one out of all 10 now?
Yeah.
What if the viewers are going to be biased, and then they're going to bash me for my pick on, and then that's what you're probably doing instead. No, probably out of the two would be the first one. What was it? The Isle of Skye.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
And
that looks really cool.
And the second one would have been in Edinburgh. That would be my two. If you had to go, ask me right now, gun to my head, which one to pick. That's what I would say. Because they both look so beautiful. I like Edinburgh because they had, it seemed like even in the background, we didn't get a lot of close-up shots. We had the one castle, but it seemed like there was a lot of historical artifacts and castles and stuff in the city itself, which was really cool. And then obviously the contrast to that, what I said before, just seeing the landscapes and everything. And so that just brings me to my summarized thought in, I didn't know what we were going to get into with this places to visit in the UK. Didn't know if we were going to get into cities or what. We started with one in London, but the rest of it was, generally sightseeing and, as you said, away from those cities. And
I think Edinburgh is a city as well, right?
Yeah,
smaller,
but not a modern city. I think that's what's different, right? And so I think that's what, now when I think about UK, that'll change my perspective on it, because it feels like there's so much there historically, but also like green landmass, how the ocean interacts with so many different islands there and creates such an interesting terrain. So
that's one thing I really noticed that I thought was really cool when I went to London is the fusion between modernized city with historical culture. There's still like so many things to see there that have been there for a really long time and are very historic based. Like you'll be somewhere in like the middle of the city square is, a historical figure, but then they have like modern shops all around it. So they really fuse like like it feels like you're almost going back in history with like a modern flavor
Mm.
everywhere around it.
Yeah, well, I think that's a credit to the culture, right, of the UK. I think that they clearly value it, right, the
Mhm.
history of it, and have made an effort to not, change it completely and leave these places that are beautiful as they are. And I think, like I said, because it's been so long. I mean, we did the video about the UK and how they've taken over so many different places across the world and had influence, right? But you see like them in the UK now, they've preserved this for so long because there's so much growth that's happened in the UK, but they've really held on to their pride in terms of their
Mhm.
history, which is commendable, I
For
think.
sure. Yeah.
Anyways, guys, let us know down below about any of these 10 places if we should find out more about them, or if you want to add specific details about them down below. We appreciate that. And if there's anything that was missed in this video, you can also add that.
Yes.
And if there's any other videos about the UK you want us to check out, drop it down below. We're open to adding some more UK content on our channel.
Yeah, I love learning.
So if you're interested in that, let us know. And also subscribe if you want to join us going forward. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.